Hello and welcome to IP lesson. In this lesson, we will do the VLAN and the Trunking Lab. This is the lab that we're gonna do for trunking and the VLAN. We have PC1, PC2, PC3, and the PC4. We have two switches in the middle. We need to make Chris PC and Bob PC on the IT VLAN, and we need to make James PC and the Jack PC on VLAN 3, which is the HR. Before starting with VLAN and the Trunking Lab, let's imagine that this is a real lab and we need to configure our devices. So before configuring our devices, we need to discover what is the configuration on that device and what's connected to that device. The first show command that we can do is show interface status. This command will show us the interfaces that is connected and the interfaces that is not connected. We can also do the command show running config. This command will show us the configuration on our device. We can also do the command show MAC address table in order to see the devices that is connected to our network and the learned MAC addresses. We can also do the command show Vlan Brief in order to see the VLANs that is configured in our device. So here is my switch. I will type no here and then enable. So the first command that we're gonna do is show interface status. Show interface status. And as you can see, interface fast Ethernet 0/1, 0/2, and 0/3 is connected, nothing else connected. Next, we're gonna do show running config. Show running config. And as you can see, nothing configured on the interface. It has the default configuration and no VLAN created. Next, we're gonna do the show MAC address table command. Show MAC address / table. And right now, our switch learned only one MAC address dynamically at interface fast Ethernet 0/1. The next command is show Vlan Brief. Show Vlan Brief. And as you can see, all my interfaces are in the default VLAN. So the output for show Vlan Brief was like that. And as we said before, imagine that this is a table. So first we have VLAN 1, the name is default, it's active, and all my switch ports are in that VLAN. So this is the factory settings. Then we have VLAN 1002, 3, 4, and 5. Those are the other VLANs that is active on my switch. So this is the lab that we're gonna do for VLAN and the trunking. The new thing that I did on my lab is changing the icon for my devices. We can simply do that by clicking on the device and click on customize icon physical view. First thing we need to do is configure our device's IP address in order to see the broadcast domain. Also, in order to filter the data, I click on edit filter and then remove any unneeded protocol in order to see only the ARP and ICMP. So I'm gonna configure the IP address for my device, IP configuration, and then I will put the IP address 192.168.1.10. The subnet mask will be 255.255.255.0. I will do the same thing for all the PCs. After I configure the IP address for my PCs, let's do a ping from PC1 to PC2. Command prompt ping 192.168.1.11. The message is going outside my device to switch 1. and as you can see, it did forward this message to all the PCs connected to the switches. This is not secure. So the first configuration that we need to do for our switch is creating VLANs. We need to create VLAN 2 and put the name IT for that VLAN. Then create VLAN 3 and name this VLAN HR. After we create the VLAN, we can do the command show Vlan Brief in order to confirm that those VLANs created on my switch. So here I am back to my switch. I will click in switch 1, CLI. I will type no, enable, configure terminal, and in the global configuration mode, I will put the command VLAN 2. VLAN 2, name, IT, VLAN 3, name, HR. I will exit out and let's do the command show Vlan Brief. Show Vlan Brief. And as you can see, there is VLAN 2 with the name IT and the VLAN 3 with the name HR. Those two VLANs are active right now. In order to complete my lab, I will do the same commands on switch 2. The next step on my lab is to assign the interfaces to the correct VLAN. I have interface Fast Ethernet 0/2. This interface should be on VLAN 2. The command will be switch port mode access. So for the interface, it can be access, which mean assign it to a VLAN, or it can be trunk. In my case here, I need to configure the interface and assign it to VLAN 2. That's why I will put the command switch port mode access. I have also interface Fast Ethernet 0/3. This interface should be assigned to VLAN 3. So back to my lab, I will configure interface Fast Ethernet 0/2 to be on VLAN 2 and interface Fast Ethernet 0/3 to be on VLAN 3. So let's open switch 1, enable conft, and then I will go to interface Fast Ethernet 0/2, interface FA refer to Fast Ethernet, switch port, mode, access, switch port, access, VLAN 2. I will exit from interface Fast Ethernet 0/2 subconfiguration mode. Then I will configure interface Fast Ethernet 0/3. I can use my up arrow key, delete 2 and make it 3. Switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 3. Let's exit out, exit again, and do the command show Vlan Brief. Show Vlan Brief. And as you can see, interface Fast Ethernet 0/2 right now on VLAN 2 and interface Fast Ethernet 0/3 on VLAN 3. So for my lab, I will configure the same thing on switch 2. I will assign interface Fast Ethernet 0/2 to VLAN 2 and interface Fast Ethernet 0/3 to VLAN 3. The next step on my lab is to configure the trunk port. So interface Fast Ethernet 0/1 will be my trunk port, and the first command I should specify the trunking protocol that I will use on my device. In my case, I will use the 802.1q, and the command will be switch port trunk encapsulation.1q. Next, I will specify that this is a trunk port by the command switch port mode trunk. The next command is to specify which VLANs that I need to go through my trunk port. the command will be switch port trunk allowed VLAN 2 and 3. So back to switch 1, conft interface FA 0/1 switch port trunk encapsulation .1q switch port mode trunk switch port trunk allowed VLAN 2, 2 and 3. Let's verify that my interface is trunk right now. I will exit out, exit again, and the command to check the interface will be show interface fast ethernet 0/1 switch port. Show interface fast ethernet 0/1 switch port. And as you can see, there is a lot of information here, but my port is trunk right now. It operates as trunk. The encapsulation is .1q and it's on. The default VLAN is VLAN 1 and the enabled VLAN to run through that link is VLAN 2 and VLAN 3. I will do the same configuration on switch 2. After we configure our lab, let's do a ping from PC1 to PC2. I will click on PC1, command prompt, ping 192.168.1.11. I will play this message. And as you can see, the message is a broadcast. The MAC address is all F. However, that it just went to PC2. Right now, our LAN is segmented to 2 VLANs. VLAN 2 is a broadcast domain and the VLAN 3 is another broadcast domain. The next lab that we have is DTP lab, Dynamic Trunking Protocol lab. It is very easy to create a trunk port using the dynamic trunking protocol, and it will be only one command, which is switch port mode dynamic desirable. We can deploy this in one side only because by default DTP is enabled on the interface and will automatically change the other side to trunk. However, we have the DTP protocol on CCNA. It is not recommended to enable the negotiation on the interface. So let's do the lab for DTP. So here is the lab that I will do for DTP. I will configure interface fast ethernet 0/1 with the dynamic desirable command. And I will not do anything on switch 1. It will automatically be a trunk. So let's do that. I will put no, enable, conft interface fast ethernet 0/1 switch port mode dynamic desirable. Press enter. Let's exit. Let's do the command show interface trunk. Show interface trunk. And as you can see, interface fast ethernet 0/1 is dynamic desirable. It uses 802.1q and it's a trunking. It allows VLAN from 1 to 1005. Let's do also show interface fast ethernet 0/1 switch port. Show interface fast ethernet 0/1 switch port. As you can see, the switch port mode is enabled. Administrative mode is dynamic desirable. Operational mode is trunk. And the encapsulation is negotiated. And it uses 802.1q. Let's see switch 1. We didn't do any configuration on switch 1. So here's switch 1. It even asks me if I want to enter the initial configuration dialog. I will type no, enable, show, interface, fast ethernet, 0/1, switch port. This interface is enabled. The mode is dynamic auto. We didn't change the mode. but the operational mode is trunk. So this interface is trunk, the encapsulation is negotiated, the encapsulation is 802.1q, and the trunking negotiation is on. So as you can see, the negotiation creates a security vulnerability to our network. If we have a port and this port has the negotiation enabled, anyone can connect another switch to that port and it will become trunk right away. So in order to disable the negotiate after the negotiation happened between the two interfaces, we have to go to the interface and make the port access port, then put the command no negotiate, and after that we can change the interface to trunk. I am back here to switch 0. So let's make the interface access port first. Configure terminal, interface, fast ethernet 0/1. Let's first try the no negotiate command. Switch port, no negotiate, and as you can see, the command is rejected. Switch port, mode, access, and after that, if we did switch port, no negotiate, it will work. This is the end for this video. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.